What is the difference between whole foods and processed foods? It's like night and day, y'all. It really is night and day. And when you have that difference of eating whole foods versus processed foods, you will immediately notice the difference. Episode 4. Here we are at episode 4. And if you are new here, welcome. I am your host, Chalandra Jaé, aka CJP, and I thank you for making your way back to you with this podcast. Today, I'm super excited about what we will be discussing, and that is pretty much the importance of taking care of your body through the form of healthy eating. What it looks like to take care and nourish your temple God's way through nutrition. And for me, this is a very heavy hitter. It's one thing that definitely contributed to my recovery when it came to my burnout recovery season. And I'm super excited to give you guys just different tips and nutritional education on how you can really make your way out of your burnout season in your recovery with your nutrition. A lot of times people underestimate the power of nutrition. And I mean, you really can't blame them for it just because we do live in a society where nutrition isn't really seen as something that is important. A lot of times we are meant to abide by the standard American diet. And it's not to say that it's necessarily a bad thing, but when you are going through your season of burnout and you are transitioning into your recovery season out of burnout, nutrition is going to be your heavy hitter. For me, when I was going through my recovery season, nutrition was not optional. When I was working with my holistic health practitioner and she was pretty much creating a plan and putting things together for me, a lot of it wasn't just supplements. I would say 90% of it had to deal with my nutrition. And so I want to be able to take the time to discuss this all with you and discuss exactly how important it is to not only implement nutrition when you are in your burnout recovery season, but just as a way to nurture and nourish and to take better care of your body for your overall health and well-being. And I know I've stated it before. I have always said that God has given us one body. We don't have a spare in the back. We only get one. So we have to make sure that we do whatever we can to keep our bodies functioning in their most optimal function. And the best way to do that is with what we eat every single day. It can truly make a difference. Is it going to happen overnight? That'd be cool if it did, but it does not. It takes time. It really does. But the wonderful thing that I love with how God created our bodies, when we make those subtle changes in our nutrition, our body notices it right away. It goes, oh, wait, okay, we're not eating really a lot of fried foods anymore. We're having more whole foods. I like this. And then over time, your body will definitely make adjustments. So, I have to give my disclaimer before I begin. The content shared on the Back to You podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and reflects the personal experiences and opinions of the host. It is not a substitute for professional, medical, psychological, or physical health advice, diagnosis, and or treatment. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider regarding any questions or concerns you may have about your health and well-being. All right, so now that we got that out the way, I don't know if you guys recall, but back in episode 2, I had briefly mentioned that I was a professor for the spring semester for Hillman Talk University online, and I taught the Thriving in Wellness 100 course. Basically, that course was for students who were interested in learning how to improve in their nutrition and their overall health and well being. And I do have the live recording from that. So I will be using that live recording today as my podcast episode. And the reason being is because in that live, I had shared some really good topics when it comes to talking about your overall health and well being and how nutrition is the heavy hitter for that. So I hope you enjoy the video. And I do have a take home in that because y'all know I love my take homes. And I really do hope that these take homes are helping you not only to just give you something to take with you from the episode, but to also just kind of help keep you accountable. If you are going through your burnout recovery season right now, these are things that you are looking for. And so I want to be able to provide that for you so that you not only have the hope, but you also have something to look forward to and also something to work on in this season. And let's say you're not in your burnout recovery season. Say you're just a person who wants to take better care of your body. This is for you too. It really is. It can also prevent you from getting burnt out. I hope you enjoy. And here it is. Awesome. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome. This is week 2 of Thriving and Wellness. We're going to go ahead and give it a couple more minutes and then we're going to go ahead and get started. How was y'all weekend? I know it's Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. So how has your week been? Let me know how your week has been. So today, if you looked at your syllabus, we are in week 2. And this week we are talking about just the basics of healthy eating. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thriving and Wellness, week 2. So again, just before we even go over any of the information, these are the basics, okay? If you want to dive in a little bit more, then that is when you would want to work with a nutritionist or you would want to maybe take a class with someone who is a certified nutritionist. I do believe they have some classes like that. But this is just like, hey, I just want to learn the basics. Where do I get started? This is not medical advice, you guys. Okay, just saying it, putting it out there. This is not medical advice. I am not a doctor, at least not yet. Okay. But again, this is just the basics of what you should be having an idea of when it comes to healthy eating. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up my notes. Again, we are in week 2 and we are going over basically the basics on eating healthy, essentially. So ideally, the first thing we want to start off is, and I want to ask the class, why is it so important for us to eat healthy? And what does that look like for you? What does healthy eating look like for you? There are lots of definitions when it comes to healthy eating, but you want to think of it this way. Healthy eating is focusing on nutrient-dense foods, balancing your macronutrients and your micronutrients, which we will go over in a little bit, and then understanding the role of food in overall health. So a lot of times we don't realize that the food that we're eating really affects how our body pretty much runs for the day, right? So think of it this way. Think of it like, y'all know how we have to go to the gas station when we're out of gas and we get like either the unleaded or the plus, what is it? The unleaded, the one in the middle, and then the one like the premium, right? So depending on what kind of car you have, depends on what type of gas you have to get. Now, you said it's important because I don't want to get heartburn. Girl, I know that's right. Heartburn is not fun at all. So what if you were to pull up to the gas station and you see somebody, instead of them pumping their car with gas, you see them put a gallon of milk into their gas tank. You like, baby, what you doing? That don't belong there. Your car's going to get jacked up, right? It's the same thing when it comes to our bodies. So a lot of times we eat food just to eat it, but we don't really know, okay, let me eat this food because this certain type of food is going to give me energy for the day.
This type of food is going to allow my brain to be focusing how it's supposed to. This type of food is going to help me get through my workout, right? So let me write down. I got my little beautiful markers. If you guys can't see it, let me know, okay? So we're going to understand the role of food, okay? That's what we are going to work on for today. Understanding the role of food. Why does healthy eating even matter, right? I'm trying to pull up my notes. Sorry, guys. Why does healthy eating even matter? So again, it promotes long-term health. It does not matter what age you are. Today, you can literally start and your body will be able to adjust. So a lot of times we don't think food is medicine, but the great Socrates, he always said, let thy food be medicine and let thy medicine be food. When you can have a healthy relationship with food and realize that not only does it fill you, but it also promotes, like, it's a medicinal type of effect as well, you're going to see food a whole lot different. A lot of times we think, okay, well, let's just take some medicine or take a vitamin and we'll be healthy. Those essentially are just supposed to be additives to what you're already eating to make it better. But if you're eating the right type of foods and then you're including your supplements and your vitamins, it's going to make it work even better. Does that make sense? Okay. Healthy eating also matters because it supports your energy. Make sure you got your pen and paper out because I want you guys to write these down. Your mood and your mental clarity. Now, is there anybody in the class who's like, girl, if I don't eat, I am hangry, right? So again, it's going to help promote your energy, your mood, and your mental clarity, right? So have you guys ever been at work and then sometimes throughout the day, you're like, oh, baby, I am tired. What is going on? I can't think straight, right? That's typically because you want to look at what kind of food did you have today? Did you have food that was going to fill your brain to help you get through the day? Or did we just have coffee for breakfast? I know, we are guilty. We are guilty of it. Some of us don't even have breakfast. Some of us, our breakfast is coffee. No bueno. No bueno. Especially if you've gone 8 or plus hours of sleeping, your body automatically wakes up and is looking for hydration. But we'll go over that during hydration week, okay? Healthy eating also matters because it prevents chronic diseases. You guys, a lot of times, especially now going into 2025, there are a lot of people who are dealing with chronic diseases, okay? And again, I am not a doctor, right? This is not medical advice, but a lot of it stems from what we put in our mouth. There's no way that we can go through our whole entire lives eating processed food, eating junk food, and expect our bodies to just thrive for the day. Our bodies are like, we don't operate off of junk food. Junk food is what you would consider empty calories, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's talk about the importance of nutrient-dense whole foods. Now, do you guys know what whole foods even are? Or are you like, I don't even know what that is? It's okay. I got you. Here, erase this so you can see. So, whole foods essentially are foods that are minimally processed. So whole foods basically are foods that are not packaged and foods that are not in a can. Whole foods are foods that are minimally processed. So a lot of times you'll go to the store and what do you see? You see boxed food, you see packaged food, you see canned food. Those are processed foods. But foods like any kind of vegetables, anything that's frozen, depending on what type of food it is, right? And things that you can easily grab, those are more whole foods. Let's focus on eating whole foods. So let me write that down so y'all can see it. And let me give you some examples. So whole foods, again, are fruits, veggies, whole grains, which we'll get into, lean proteins, nuts, and seeds. Let me show you guys this so you can write it down. So again, these are your whole food. This is kind of the category. So you have fruits, you have veggies, you have whole grains, you have lean proteins, you have nuts, and you have seeds. I want to make sure you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? Okay, yeah, there we go. Fruits, veggies, whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, and seeds. This is what your everyday meals should be looking like. Now, most of us will go for a hamburger, a cheeseburger, some cheesecake. And don't get me wrong, that food is lovely. It tastes so good, especially as some cheese. My cheese lovers out there, I feel it. But is that fueling your body the way that it needs to? It's not. So the importance of whole foods is that it's nutrient dense, right? So what these foods provide for us, the fruits, the veggies, the whole grains, the lean proteins, the nuts, and the seeds, what it provides for us is that it's rich in vitamins, it's rich in minerals, fiber, which we will also talk about, and antioxidants, right? So again, the vitamins, the minerals, the fiber, and the antioxidants, this is what help our bodies to basically perform how they are supposed to. It's going to allow our organs to operate in optimal function. Baby, you can't sit here and tell me your liver is going to be able to operate at its best with a whole thing of cheesecake. God did not make us that way, right? These foods help because they are rich in vitamins, they are rich in minerals, they are rich in fiber, and antioxidants. So not only that, they also provide sustained energy. They provide you with energy for the day, so you don't have to always rely on coffee and Starbucks, right? And they also help to improve digestion. Digestion is one thing we will go over next week when we go over gut health. And if you haven't, please make sure you come to that class next week. Gut health, I cannot explain it enough. The way that you eat can extremely affect your gut health, guys. And our gut health, think of your gut health like your second brain. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about it because that's for next week, but the healthier your gut is, the healthier the whole rest of your body is going to be. It makes no sense for us to talk about our gut health if we're not talking about what foods to help promote energy and help with digestion for our body to help our gut health. Whole foods, the benefits of it is because it provides sustained energy, it improves digestion, and it's low in sugar. It doesn't have the unhealthy fats. You'll be able to help with your cholesterol. And then in sodium, it's low in sodium. A lot of times, a lot of the processed foods that we're eating, guys, high in sodium and high in unhealthy fats. Our bodies, they do need fats, but a certain type of fats, okay? So again, this is why whole foods are beneficial for us. It helps with energy and digestion. It's low in sugar. It doesn't have the unhealthy fats. And it's also low in sodium. Now we're going to go between what is the difference between whole foods and processed foods. Whole foods, they keep most of their original nutrients, right? So basically, whole foods are made to stay the way that God created it. It's not going to be stripped of the fiber. It's not going to be stripped of all of its nutrients. A lot of times, you guys, the food that we are eating, it's food. We can chew it. We can swallow it, it's going to be digested, and we're going to poop it out, right? But a lot of times the food that we are eating does not have the proper nutrients. So we're not going to get that energy boost. We're not going to get that mental clarity. We're not going to get that energy high from eating our food. And that's what we're supposed to be having. Processed foods, we get it. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy, it comes fast, it is what it is. But the thing is, it's stripped of its nutrients, so there's no benefit to it at all, really, besides just tasting good. And then it contains all of the additives and all the preservatives, basically stuff that's been made in some type of factory, okay? So imagine yourself being on a factory and you see like a potato or you see a bell pepper, right? And then you see them like injecting it with different things. Would you still want to eat that and you don't know what's in there? No. I know I wouldn't, and you guys might, but I don't, right? I want my food to be exactly how it came, just in its normal, natural state. But a lot of times, you guys, that's what happens. If we aren't reading the labels, if we aren't taking the time to know what type of whole foods to consume. That's what's happening, unfortunately, for us. But have no fear, because you're taking this class, so you're going to know how to start eating differently and healthier for your body. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you feel like right now in your journey, when it comes to your wellness, if you could look back just from the month of January until now, do you feel like you've been having more whole foods or more processed foods? Or maybe you might be in the middle, right? If I can be 100% honest, for me so far from January to February, I've been in the middle. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Just because I'm a teacher does not mean I'm perfect, right? I've been in the middle. Sometimes I'll have my whole food. Sometimes I'll have my processed food, depending on if I'm in a rush and I forgot to pack my food from overnight. Mavi, you said, thankfully, has been in the middle. Okay, good job. Baby D, you said processed food, the emotional eating was real. Yes. Okay, and thank you for being so honest and transparent, because a lot of times people like to be like, oh, like I eat whole food every single day. And it's like, no. Macronutrients, again, are the building blocks of nutrition. So macronutrients are basically broken down into your carbs, which we all love and adore, our proteins, which we'll get into, and our fats. Okay. Our carbs, our proteins, and our fats. Now, again, remember I told you guys, our body likes fats, but just a certain type of fats. We're going to go over the healthy fats, okay? Now, a lot of times I hear people say, oh, well, carbs are so bad for my body. I really shouldn't eat carbs. I'm going to go on a diet and never have carbs ever again. And it's like, hold on, pause. Let's just hold off on that, because why is that? Out of carbs, proteins, and fats. Carbs, you guys, are essentially the main source of energy. So think of carbs to your body like gas to a car. If you have no gas, you're not fueling the engine to produce power to accelerate to get the car to go, right? Same thing with our body. If you aren't producing if you aren't eating carbs to allow it to break down into complex sugars to utilize for energy to help you get through the day, that's when you get tired, you get irritable, you feel like you can't think straight. That's your body being like, hey, we need some more fuel. We're trying to help you operate throughout the day, but you're not giving us what we want, okay? So that's why it's so important to have your carbs. Now, you have what's called simple carbs, and you have your complex carbs. So to kind of break it down a little bit easier, simple carbs are like simple sugars, right? Think of like your candy, crackers, basically stuff that has no fiber, essentially, right? And then you have your complex carbs. Those are basically fiber-rich foods. So again, you want to aim for more complex carbs because it's going to help keep you full because it's in its original state, right? Versus having the simple carbs like crackers, your body's just going to burn through it. There's no nutrients, right? So let me write that down. So simple is basically simple sugars like crackers, candy, stuff like that. Complex carbs maintain the fiber and also maintains the nutrients. Okay, we talked about the simple carbs, talked about the complex carbs. I don't see any questions, so we're going to keep pushing. You want to think, okay, well, we talked about the difference between simple carbs and complex carbs. But you're like, okay, Missy, can we get some examples of what healthy carbs are? Because I really don't know. I got you. Some examples are fruits, veggies, can't spell, whole grains, and legumes. Sounds like a fancy name, huh? Legumes. When they say fill your plate with color, that's what they mean by fruits and veggies. Ideally, I've always been taught if you aren't going to eat your vegetables, you might as well drink them. You can make them into a smoothie. You can have it as a small little snack. And what you will notice is throughout the day, as you are consuming your fruits and your veggies, you're going to feel more full. Why? Because those type of foods have the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, and the fiber that we talked about earlier that's going to supply fuel for your body. It's going to keep you full because of the fiber. So think of fiber almost like Roto-Rooter for your bowels. I know that sounds crazy, and I told my friends this. Think of fiber like Roto-Rooter for your bowels. What it does is it goes and it makes the stool like very like bulky, and it helps to kind of slow down the digestion, but it also helps to go through and clean out all the walls of your gut, essentially. Whenever you have fruits and veggies, they really help to not only provide the nutrients for your body, but it also allows you to be able to stay fuller longer. Now, when you think of whole grains, you want to think of like your brown rice, your quinoa, your couscous. Think of things like that, right? And then think of your legumes like your lentils. Lentils are super good for the body. So when it comes to carbs, as you see, I didn't mention fries. I didn't mention potatoes. I didn't mention bread. Now, the thing about bread, you can have bread as long as it's whole grain bread. That white bread, gotta go. Why is white bread not good, guys? Let's think about that really quick. Why is white bread not good? Why is white bread not good? I'll give y'all like 2 seconds, maybe even 3. Why is white bread not good? Yes, baby D. I love it. More processed. So if it's processed, remember again, that means everything has been stripped of its nutrients, and your body's just digesting it. You get no benefit from it at all. The dame, you said bleached. Yes, it's bleached. Y'all want bleached bread in your system? I don't. That's crazy. Whole grain bread is going to provide you with the vitamins, the minerals, and the nutrients. And I guarantee you, if you try whole grain bread, you are going to feel more alert throughout the day. You're going to feel more full, and you might be a little bit more energized. For all of y'all who got white bread in your fridges at home, throw it out. Okay? Or you can finish it. I get it, because we're in some hard times right now. I get it. But after that, try and aim for whole grain bread. Okay? Good job, you guys. Y'all got this. I love it. Let's go into proteins. Proteins. It's funny because people always say, proteins, eat your protein, hit your protein, protein. It's like, okay, I get it, relax, but what kind of protein should I be having? Proteins, think of proteins like your meats, essentially. Protein is actually one of the most important types of foods that you want to be able to consume. Do you guys know why? It's not just for the people in the gym who are trying to bulk up and get all like, bulky and strong and stuff. Protein actually helps with building and repairing of tissues. It's responsible for helping for your enzymes to help your body digest your food better. It's more responsible for your hormones and for your immune system. So for those of you who are also getting back into working out this year, not just being in the gym, but by being more active, whenever you are active, especially if you're lifting weights, you're going to get what's called micro tears in your muscle. That's what makes it bigger. But guess what? Protein comes in to help bring those muscle fibers back in, and they lock. It's called short chain fatty acids. Some type of examples of protein. Let me give you some good ones. You got your lean meats. So you have your chicken, you have your turkey, you have your fish, not fried. Because I know some of y'all like y'all fish fried. Not over here. Okay? We're working on that. We're doing better. Everything should be grilled or sauteed or baked. Nothing should be fried. And we'll go into why this should not be fried next week when it comes to our gut health. Because guess what? That oil that you use to fry that fish, it got to go somewhere. We'll talk about it next week. Next week gonna be good, so don't miss out. Okay? The dame said legumes, tofu, tempeh for the vegans in the room. Yes, thank you so much for that. Any vegans in the room? Those are some great options. Legumes, tofu, tempeh, awesome. Really good. Especially tofu, really high in protein. And also black beans. Black beans are also good for you as well when it comes to your proteins. Thank you, the dame. I appreciate that. You have eggs. You have tofu. You have legumes. And you have quinoa. It's kind of hard to spell. You can also have animal proteins and plant-based proteins. Now, everyone's saying tofu. I love tofu. And if you go on TikTok, right, they have, if you type in like different ways to make tofu, you guys, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Look it up. It's actually really good. So chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, tofu, legumes, and quinoa. Okay. Now, ideally, people don't really know how much protein you should be having. There is a type of formula that you can put in when it comes to your body weight. I think it's you take your body weight and you multiply it times 0.10. That is a lot. When it comes to incorporating more protein into your diet, you want to make sure that you are having at least protein with every single meal. Okay? Try your best to have your protein with every single meal. And food for thought. When it comes to digestion, you want to have your protein first before you have your carbs. So say I have a potato and say I have some salmon, right? I'm going to want to eat that salmon first before I have my potato. Reason being is because when you have the salmon, which is a protein first, before you have your carb, which is a potato, it's going to allow your pancreas to not have to work so hard to help break down the sugar. Protein helps in regards to how fast your pancreas has to work to bring your blood sugar down. So for any of you who have like blood sugar issues, having the protein first before you have the carb will allow your pancreas to still help bring the sugar down, but not raise it super, super, super high. Okay? Any questions on that so far? I hope this is helping and I hope it makes sense. Now we're going to talk about fats because we need it. Do you guys know why we need healthy fats? Now, fats, we got our butter, we got our cookies, we got our Oreos. And did you guys know when we're in cold and flu season and everyone's like taking Dayquil, NyQuil, all the quills, right? That helps your body to fight off whatever you're dealing with. But if we did a better job of eating for our bodies instead of against our bodies, when it's time for us to get sick, or when we get sick, our bodies won't need that Dayquil, that NyQuil, because we are providing the immune system already what it needs to help fight off whatever you're dealing with. Baby said that's why my mama used to give us chicken when we were sick. Protein. There you go. Exactly. Let's talk about fats. Fats, again, we need fats, but it depends on what type of fats you are consuming. Fats, the reason why they are important is because it is, again, another form of energy for our body. It's an energy source. It helps with cell growth. It protects our organs. You guys know which organ it protects the most? Our brains. Our brains run off of healthy fats. Skin, hair, joints, and heart health. Yes, the name. I love it. And it helps in nutrient absorption, which we'll talk about more next week with gut health. Benefits of fats. Energy source, cell growth. It protects the organs, and it helps with nutrient absorption. Okay? You have two different types of fats. You have the unhealthy fats, and you got the healthy fats. We all know what the unhealthy fats are. Anything that's deep fried, laid to the side, anything that doesn't really have color, right? So let's talk about what more of the healthy fats are. Unsaturated fats are the healthy fats. Let's get that right. Unsaturated fats are the healthy fats. Saturated fats are healthy. This is what your body needs for those benefits. Some examples are avocados, from avocado and guacamole people, nuts, olive oil, and omega-3. Omega-3 is so good for you, essentially. Fish, flax seeds, walnuts. All of these things are really, really, really good for your body. If you can try your best to at least have some type of fish throughout the week to give your body the omega-3s, that's really, really going to help you guys when it comes to fats. Also, when you have the healthy fats, you guys, it's so good for inflammation. If anybody is dealing with inflammation, it really helps to incorporate more healthy fats into your diet because it's going to help eliminate all that inflammation. Baby D said, is avocado oil a healthy fat? Yes, it is. Avocado oil is really good. So oils, like the unhealthy kind, like vegetable oil and especially canola oil, I would try, again, this is a recommendation, I would try to not go for those type of oils because when they enter our bodies, they become rock hard. And when they become rock hard, if we are not consuming the appropriate amount of fiber to push them suckers out, what happens is it can get stuck to your gut lining and then it just stays there and then it rots. That's nasty, huh? We'll talk more about that next week. She said, how do you feel about grapeseed oil? Oh, sorry, the dame. How do you feel about grapeseed oil? Grapeseed oil is good too. That's also a healthy fat. Yeah, anytime you can stay away from canola and vegetable, those really are the unhealthy fats. Healthy fats, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, those are all really good healthy fats. You can use it when you're cooking, like your breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. That also helps to get more fats into your diet. So say you're gonna make salmon, right? Just a little bit of grapeseed oil on that thing, a little avocado oil, some regular olive oil, you got your fats. Okay? Yeah, you're welcome. We're gonna talk about your fatty acids, your essential fatty acids. So this helps, again, to help combat inflammation in your body. So omega-3, omega-6, fats from the fish, flax seeds, and walnuts. Fatty acids are good for your body because, again, it's going to help with any kind of inflammation you got going on. Our brains, you guys, they run off of healthy fats. We have this barrier that's in our brain that basically needs the omega-3s, the omega-6s, the fats from the fish, the flax seeds, and the walnuts to be able to function properly, okay? If you don't want to eat the fish, take an omega-3 supplement. If you don't want to do that, grab some nuts, grab some walnuts, grab some almonds. Those are going to be your healthy fats, okay? We talked about the carbs, the proteins, and the fats. So someone tells you, girl, don't eat carbs. That's not true. Because remember, carbs is our energy source. It's our primary energy source. Now, if you are trying to lose weight, then you're still going to have your carbs, but you're going to have more protein than you're going to have carbs. Food for thought. Reason being is because protein does not put fat on you, okay? So for those of you in the group who are like, I want to lose more weight and get stronger and be more like lean, aim for having more protein, yes, but do not forget about your fats, okay? So you should have like this amount of carbs and this amount of proteins. Carbs, proteins. When really the other way around, people will have carbs and then protein, right? Carbs and then protein. Or if you're someone like myself who was looking to gain more muscle, you're going to have more carbs and also kind of like with protein too. But carbs for us, we burn through it so fast. Is it true that salmon, tuna, and sardines are good for omega deficiency? Yes. So again, the salmon, the tuna, and the sardines, the fat that's coming from those fishes is going to provide you with the omega-3. Yes, that is true. Now, I'm not going to say you should have fish every single day because you don't want to consume it that quickly, but maybe once or twice a week, really good. You'll be able to hit your omegas throughout the week. For me, I like to go with salmon. It tastes good. You can bake it. You can grill it. You can do a whole bunch with it. Micronutrients are your vitamins and your minerals. Do we know why those are important? So we talked about the benefits of the food, but we didn't talk about our vitamins and our minerals. Why as a kid, our moms be like, girl, go over there and take your vitamins. Take your vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C. Blah, 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 blah. How come when you go to the doctor, they're like, are you taking your multivitamin? Are you taking vitamins? Are you taking your vitamins? Vitamins? It's like, okay, I get it. Gee, Lee. So we're going to talk about why they are important. Micronutrients. Your micronutrients are your essential vitamins and minerals that are needed in small amounts for various bodily functions. So if you don't have these vitamins and or nutrients in your body to make things in your body operate how it's supposed to, guess what? It ain't gonna really operate how it's supposed to. Vitamins and minerals. Micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. Let's go over our main vitamins. You have your vitamin A, your vitamin C, and your vitamin D. And I forgot about vitamin B. Sorry, guys. Vitamins A, B, C, and D, and E. We'll go over that too, the main ones. Again, this is not medical advice. These are just the basics. Vitamins A through E. A, B, C, D, and E. Let's go over it. We have vitamin A. Vitamin A is essentially good for your vision and also for your immune function. Think of vitamin A if you don't want to take a supplement. Carrots are really good for vitamin A. I know that dark leafy greens are also good for your vitamin A, but the more you can consume your vitamin A, the more it's really, really going to help with your eyes. Vitamin A are good for the eyes. Vitamin B is good for energy production and stress. Vitamin B, energy production and stress. So a lot of times when our bodies are under a lot of stress, vitamin B can come in and to help lower those stress levels down. It can help to lower your cortisol down. Okay, so it's also good for energy production as well. Along with your foods, it's going to help provide that energy you need mentally and physically for the day. Vitamin C is one of my favorites. I can't spell, y'all. Oxidant. And for your skin and also for stress. So vitamin C is good for you. It's an antioxidant. It's good for your skin, and it's also good for stress. It's also good for your immune system. It's also good for your adrenal glands. Out of all these vitamins, I would say vitamin C is my most favorite, only because when you take the right amount of vitamin C, it's a water-soluble vitamin. It'll help with coping with stress. It'll help with your skin. It'll help to rejuvenate your skin to look more brighter and more youthful, more rejuvenated. It is an antioxidant, so it can go in and grab all those bad, little, ugly, nasty things in your body, and it can help pull it out. I cannot stress enough. If you were under a lot of stress, what happens is our body shoots out our adrenal glands that sit on top of our kidneys. They shoot out cortisol. Boom, boom. The more you're stressed, the more it shoots out. Boom, 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 right? But the more that cortisol shoots out, your body is depleted on your vitamins and your minerals. What your vitamin C does, it can go in it comes in and kind of helps replace and kind of refuel all of that again. So if you ever feel stressed, take some vitamin C. Very easy. Follow the instructions on the bottle. Take it with breakfast. And if you want, take it with some orange juice. It'll kind of help to make the vitamin C work a little bit better. Vitamin D. I love vitamin D, especially for us women. Right now, vitamin D, it's wintertime, right? So vitamin D. So you know how people say like, oh, I have seasonal depression. I miss the sun. Every time I don't have the sun, I get irritable. What is going on? Your body wants vitamin D. So if you didn't know, we get vitamin D from the sun. Well, in the wintertime, the sun be playing games with us, right? Sometimes it want to pop out, sometimes it don't. It helps with your bone health, but it also helps with your hormones as well. So if you can, really, really try to aim to take vitamin D3, especially right now because we're not receiving the right amount of vitamin D from the sun. It's going to help with your hormones. It's going to really help with your stress levels. It's going to help with your immune function. If you can take vitamin D3, I would highly, 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 highly recommend it, especially for us women. It definitely helps when it comes to our hormones and our periods. What if you have high cortisol? Does magnesium help with that? Yes, magnesium does help with high cortisol on top of the vitamin C. Now, the different types of magnesium. The one that I feel would help with high cortisol may be magnesium glycinate. Glycinate. Look it up. Magnesium glycinate helps to keep your body basically calm in moments of stress, or if stress does come, it doesn't allow your body to get super like But yes, high cortisol. Yeah, we'll talk about that in week 4 when it comes to managing burnout and stress. Because a lot of times when we are burnt out, it's because our cortisol has shot up so much that our bodies are like, baby, we can't do no more. Figure it out. Stop stressing us out. So yeah, we'll talk about ways to help with cortisol in week 4. The dame said, should it be D3 and K? Yes, it can be D3 and K2. A lot of times some people don't really know the difference, but if you can get a D3 and K2 together, that'll help because it'll help promote with calcium entering into your bones. So remember, D3 is good for bone health, and then K2 is good for calcium. So if you can get the D3 and the K2, that is a plus. But most times, if you can just go to D3, that'll be okay too. We're going to kind of fly through these really quick. So the 4 essential minerals that your body needs. And we'll talk more about this in when we talk about hydration. Do you guys know the 4 minerals that are essential, not beneficial, essential for your body? Do you guys know what they are? There's 4 main ones. You guys can guess. Can you guys guess what they are? It's 4 minerals. 4 minerals. The 4 minerals that are essential, not just beneficial, but essential for your body are calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Why do we need these? These are the 4 type of minerals in our body. So think of minerals kind of like electrolytes, essentially. What they do is each of these are responsible for going into our bodies and creating a task. So all these minerals actually help to keep us hydrated, right? Calcium helps with bone health. Magnesium does so much. Oh my Lord. Magnesium, child, we can be here all day. Magnesium has over 300 functions in our body, right? Sodium is also a form of an electrolyte, but it depends on what type of sodium you consume, right? And then potassium as well. Potassium is good for muscle health, as long as with magnesium. So whenever you're feeling a little parched, like I'm a little thirsty, make sure you have a drink that has these minerals in it. One of my favorites, Body Armor. I'm not sponsoring them, but Body Armor helps with essential electrolyte consumption. So all these essentially are your electrolytes. So whenever you are consuming like water does not have electrolytes in it. Spring water sometimes does, depending on what type of brand it is, or for the most part, water is just water. Water is good for our bodies, but to be hydrated, you have to be able to allow minerals to go into the cell, to hydrate the cell in order to hydrate your body. That's why it's very important for us to have these minerals. And we'll go over this more when we go to the hydration week, because they are so essential. You know, when someone's like, oh, I got a muscle cramp. Oh my gosh, why does my muscle cramp? That means that your body is lacking minerals. Did you know that? If you ever feel like you have a really bad headache throughout the day and you're like, oh my gosh, my head, your body is lacking minerals. We'll talk about that more with the proper hydration week. We'll go more into that. But throughout the day, still have your water, but aim for like coconut water, Body Armor, or some type of liquid that has the 4 minerals. Okay, we're going to talk about how you can build a balanced plate. There's no point in talking about all of this if we're not going to apply the information, right? Your homework for this week, starting today, I want you to grab a journal or have notes in your phone. I want you to write down everything that you eat. I don't care if it's gum. I don't care if it's enchiladas. I don't care if it's an apple. I want you to write down every single thing that you eat from Wednesday, today, all the way until Saturday. And then on Saturday, I'm going to have you submit it. Now, don't come on here acting like, okay, well, Miss C going to see what I eat, so I'm going to eat perfect. No, let's be real. If you have some hot Cheetos, you have some hot Cheetos. Okay? That way we'll be able to, you're going to have more of an awareness on, okay, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have had them hot Cheetos. I probably should have had apple with some caramel or something, right? So now your brain's gonna be thinking of ways that you can start changing your habits of how you're eating. Again, we want to be aiming for more whole foods, your fruits, your veggies, your whole grains, your legumes, stuff like that. Okay, so that is your homework for the week. Your homework also not only is writing down what you're consuming, but I also want you to be able to think when you're consuming your food throughout the week. I want you to ask yourself, is there a carb? Is there a protein? And is there a fat on my plate? Is there a carb? Is there a protein? And is there a fat on my plate? If not, I want you to try to start incorporating that. It doesn't have to be every single one. Maybe today you're going to go out and have maybe a sandwich, right? Okay, well, instead of having your sandwich and chips, maybe let's have a sandwich with some type of veggie, some carrots. That's going to make all the difference. Be honest and be real. It's not anything about like, oh my gosh, I want to be perfect. This is being real with yourself. Okay, this is what's going to help you to learn, okay, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have had that, right? Here's the other thing too, for your homework. After you have written down what you have ate, super, super important, I want you to ask yourself this question. How do I feel after eating this meal? How do I feel after eating this meal? I don't care if it's anything. If it's a food, if it's a whole meal, or if it's a snack. Every time you write down what you eat, I want you to ask yourself and respond, how do I feel after eating this meal? Do I feel energized? Do I feel sluggish? Do I feel irritable? Do I feel stuck? Do I feel like my brain does not even want to work? Is it giving me a headache from what I just ate? Or do I feel like I'm energized, I feel good, I feel ready to go, let's do this, okay? That is your homework for this week, yeah, from today until Saturday. The reason why I'm asking you guys that question is because next week, we're going to be talking about our gut health. And your gut health is your second brain. So when we call ourselves eating all this processed foods, again, no shame, because I eat them too, every now and then. The foods that we eat basically dictates how we are going to be throughout the day. It's important that you answer that question, because it's going to help you when we talk about our gut health next week. Because again, it's your second brain, okay? And you're going to realize a lot of the reason why I'm having headaches and I'm irritable and I'm angry and I'm sad or I just can't think straight, on top of maybe not being a good day, is because of the food that we eat. Those are signs and symptoms that your body is like, we don't like this, baby. It's not helping us. Can we get the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients, all that stuff? Right? But again, that's for next week. So make sure you don't miss the class. Did today help? It was good? Awesome. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for interacting with me. Definitely get your participation point. This live should be available later. I hope this helped. Part of your final is you were going to write down like a healthy eating plan, but we're going to just slowly walk through it because sometimes it can be a lot. So we're just going over the basics, right? Just leading you and helping you to have more of an awareness of what you should be eating. So again, it's okay to have the carbs. It's okay to have the protein. It's okay to have the fats. But today you want to choose to have the healthier versions. And you can look it up like healthy carbs, healthy fats, healthy proteins. It's all out there. I will see you guys next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next week is probably going to be one of the most important weeks, so you do not want to miss it. Make sure you are sharing this with your friends. Make sure they are enrolled. We're going to talk about gut health and digestion, why it's so important. How does it impact the overall health? And then what is your gut microbiome? What is that? Everyone's like, take care of your gut microbiome. What is that? Can somebody explain that to me? I got you next week. All right, guys, have a good day. Wherever you are, be safe. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to nourish yourself. I love you, but God loves you more. And go out and be great. All right, guys. See you either on Friday if you have any questions. If not, I will see y'all next week. Bye.